Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking your time to join this wonderful session, which we are going to discuss a lot of important things. And today we are going to look about some of the important things: new country, new rules of money, and overall the new rules of life in general. So, what are we going to discuss today? There are so many important things people are doing, especially when they come to the new country, but sometimes to succeed, we want to find what are the ways we can use to be able to succeed. So, of things which are important for all of us. I'm going to share a presentation, but I'll go in detail. It will be more like teaching. People I see they are joining up. So if you have to put a comment, I'll be able to see. And when you want to ask a question, you can say you have a question, and then I'll be able to pull you in. I'll give you the access for you to be able to join here, and you can be able to go direct and ask your question if you want to ask the question directly on the screen if you want that way, or you can ask the question through the comment section. So in order to go through that way, so let's start with the one important things. As I mentioned that today we are going to talk about the new country, new rules of money. What does that mean? So you work so hard to come to the United States of America. Some of people, they use it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever number of years until you manage to come here to the United States of America. The key question I usually ask people, why did you decide to come here? And we know for sure we didn't come here just to end up showing some of the pictures on Instagram and so forth. We are here so that we can be able to succeed. But are we in the proper route for us to be able to succeed? So I will start with the answering some of the simple things. I know some of you might be, maybe you are not aware of me. I'm Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM Scholars. I'm a licensed financial professional, but I'm also immigration consultant, but also the publisher of 18 books at the moment. And the books in immigration, books in life, books in finance. So I want to start with the very important thing about what are the mistakes we usually do as immigrants when we go to US, we go to Canada, we go to Europe. So there are some of the mistakes. So I say these are the key 3 mistakes we usually do. The mistake number 1, which we usually do, is we come to these countries, but the moment we arrive here, we think that everything is over. We don't take time to continue now to succeed in these countries. Meaning, we are physically in the United States, we are physically in Canada, we are physically in Belgium, whatever country we are, but mentally, we're still in our countries. Whether you are coming from Africa, you come from Asia, so our mental capacity is still operating into that particular way. That affects us in a big way, in time management, into resource allocations. The second mistake we usually do is the failure to decide, am I going to stay in this country for a very long time, or am I going to stay here for a short time and going back? Majority of people, that decision can take even years to make that decision, that I'm coming here, I'm going to retire in America or Canada, whatever country are, or I'm going back to my home country. That is another mistake. That big delay is affecting you. Sometimes you have to invest a little bit here, you are investing a little bit there, you are not so sure. So that is the second mistake. The third mistake is the failure to take integration, to assimilate into new culture. By assimilation, I don't say that you must do copy and paste everything people in those particular countries are doing. But what I'm saying, you have to know. You came here for economic reason. Majority of us, we come here to have a better life. So if you come here for a better life, you have to know the money. You have to know the rules of the money. You have to know the finance of those countries. We just finished Thanksgiving. Everyone is celebrating Thanksgiving. So while we are assimilating into the culture, watching American football, watching baseball, doing all those kind of things, are we taking the time also to invest into the finance, understand about the retirement, and so forth? So those are the three mistakes we are doing. So in order to solve those mistakes, I'll go to the next slide and explain to you, for you to understand it in order to succeed, whether in America or in Canada or other countries. But this, I'm going to give you an example of specifically for the United States. That in the United States, there are two categories of families. We call family A and family B. The middle income family and the wealthy family. What are the key distinctions between these two families? And what should you do if you are here, you want to move from middle income to a wealthy family? It is not something that happens within a day or 2 days. No, it takes sometimes years. I see Adrian Moisaka, I think is in Texas at the moment, say this is very true. I have witnessed that. Thank you so much for pointing out that one, Adrian. So, majority of people who are middle income, which is 95% of people in America, are employees. We depend our income on jobs. But we forgot where we come from. Most of our income has been a combination of both being employed, but also being entrepreneur, having a small business on the side. You find out a person is working maybe the government office, but on the side has a kiosk, on the side has chicken, raising chicken, and the side has some vegetables or something else. So you combine the two. But the moment you come to America, the apartment you live, the home you live, doesn't have an acre to go and plant some corn or raise some chicken, raise some goats, whatever you want to do. You can't do that. So we end up just focusing on employment. And how do we do in Africa or in Asia? We have job and another business on the side. But what we do here, because we don't have the opportunity to have something like that, we start right away to have the second job or to have overtime. So most of the income we get is through employment, whether it's one job or one end overtime or two jobs, but through employment. But the difference between that and the people in family B, the people in family B are business owners. For them, they are not dealing with the employment. But why are they people? Why this group of people who are doing business are being able to succeed? This is one of the many reasons. So let's go and see just one example here. I want to give the example of someone who is employed and someone who is a business owner, just to be able to see. So if you look at the tax bracket, this is for 2025 tax bracket. I'm using for single. Let's go to use for single person. So if you are single, if you get between 0 to 11,000, you pay 10%, 12%, up to 47, then it goes 22%, then 24%, and so forth. Those are some of the tax brackets. But if you are employed, we call W-2 employee. The moment you get paid, remember the federal is taking their taxes. State is taking their taxes. So assume you are in the state where they have state income tax. And let's say you make $50,000 per year. Let's say you are making $100,000 per year. So let's say if you are making between, majority of people of middle income, they make between 47,000 to 100,000. So 22% you are going to pay taxes. If you say, oh, I'm six figures, you are going to get maybe 110, whatever it is 24%. So let's go just below here you are going to pay 22%. And the state where you are, let's say you are going to pay 3 to 5%. So that will make you 27% of tax. What does that mean? You are making $100,000 a year, and you're supposed to pay the tax 25 to 30% of your money, state and federal combined. That means almost between 25,000 to 30,000 of your money, if you are making $100,000 a year, is going back to the government. So while you as middle income, you are happy I'm making 6 figures, but you forget over 30% sometimes goes back to the government. So that is the number one problem for people who are focusing more into employment. But the people in business are going to be taxed in a different way. How are they going to be taxed? The government says, I'm not taxing you up front. I want you to go and do your business. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. Then I will ask you, take out all your business expenses. The leftover is what I'm going to tax you. So it's going to tax you on the profit. So let's be honest. How many business people, they make $100,000 a year in a business, they say they have profit of $90,000. No business person will do that. They will do all the business expenses. Even if they buy a pen, it will be part of the business expenses. Let me give just an example. For instance, here, for me, in my case, my phone is a business expense. This one, microphone, is a business expense. The lighting is a business expense. My computer is a business expense. The internet I'm using, business expense. I travel to go to Indiana, business expense. So I will take out all the deductions, and let's say I'm having $10,000 as a profit out of 100,000. So if that's the case, I'm going here. If I'm making 10,000 as a profit, I'm going to pay 10% tax. Meaning, is the same person as a business. Business is making $100,000, is going to pay $1,000. But you as employee, you are making 100,000, you are paying 30,000 as a tax. So that is the number one problem. Why we come here as immigrant, we do not know even what is income tax. How does it work? What we focus more is, let me get overtime, let me get the second job. But you forget that the more money you make, the government loves you even more, because the government is going to get more money from you. But the business owners don't pay much of the taxes. This is what you see people who do not understand about taxes. They are going to, oh, white people are not paying taxes, or rich people are not paying taxes. It's not about the issue about white people or the issue about rich people. The point is, if you are a business owner, your taxing system is different from being employee. So you hated the system, learn and finding a way of having a business, whether it is a part-time business, whether it's a full-time business. That will be one of the way to go about it. So most of the immigrants we come in this country, while we are very good into working and having business in your home countries, but when we come here, we focus into how I can have another job. Oh, I was getting $15 per hour. Let me get 20. Let me get 25. Let me get 32, 35, up to 50. If you reach $100 per hour, you feel that you are the king. But deep down, you're not the king, because the government is taking a lot from you. So that is the biggest problem of majority of people is middle income. But the biggest problem for us as immigrants in particular, because we do not know the game. So the solution, you have to start learning the system. The second thing, people who are in the middle income do not know the definition of life insurance, don't have life insurance. Those who have it, some is because they've been tricked by your job that, oh, if you get our job, we are going to give the benefit. One of the benefits is life insurance. So you have the life insurance from your work. And if you have your personal, majority, they have the temporary one. We'll go in detail about the temporary, how does it work. But people in family B, they have what we call the permanent life insurance. Why do they have something which people in family A don't have? So there, we'll go to see in a minute that the permanent plan has certain benefits which they make people in family B continue to excel. But because we are in the middle income, the product which is advertised on the television is only for people of middle class, which is temporary insurance. So solution, just finding a way to learn more about the permanent and see the advantages and see the possibility of you having the permanent one. But because we're employed, majority of people in middle income base their future into the so-called 401k. So that is the variation. There is the 401k, 403b, TSP, 457. All those plans are more or less the same. The difference is most of the companies they use 401k, 403b for non-profit, TSP for the government, teachers they have 457. That is the difference. So this one is easier to catch or to touch the feeling of many Africans because that is the system some of African countries have. In East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, whatever, some of those countries, we have the so-called National Social Security Fund, NSSF, meaning you as employee, you contribute part of your salary and the employer is going to match certain percent, maybe it can be 10 in most of the countries. So because you have that system, you come to America, you think, oh, this 401k is the same as NSSF. So you depend on 401k thinking that is a retirement plan. So the bad news is it is not. Why it is not? Let me give the perfect and correct example. When you have this 401k, few things you didn't know. This plan, it was designed for the particular reason of helping people who are not good into saving, so that they can save something. At the time they are going to retire, they can have something small. Let's go to the person himself who designed this plan, and he will be able to help us to understand. So this plan was designed by a person called Ted Benner. So Mr. Benner is famously known as the father of 401k. When he designed this plan, he designed it for his own personal company. That is when he designed it. But now he's upset, he's disturbed by this plan, by his own creation. And this is Yahoo Finance. If you go to the CBS Finance, he was interviewed and he called that this plan is a monster. He regrets creating this plan. When he created this plan on his own company, the plan was that you contribute a certain amount. There are some fees you have to pay. The employer himself on his own company, when he started, he was in charge of paying those fees. That's what was the original plan. So yes, he said, I wanted the people who are not good into saving, the spenders, to turn them to become savers, to have something at the time when they go to retire. But that was not the original retirement plan. Remember, at that time, there was a pension, government pension. It used to be there. So when he started this plan, then two major companies went to him and asked him to get some consultation. These companies' original plan was, when there was a year fee, that fee was paid by the employer to get that investment advice. We call it the management fee. But when he was helping Fidelity and Vanguard, these are the big companies. These two companies, they say that fee should not be paid by the employer. The fee was transferred back to the employee. That was the first big issue. Then, when it started, the government decided to adopt that system of 401k. I can ask you a question here. If this is the big plan, how many pages should the bill be when it's going to be taken to the Congress? How many pages do you think? that bill should be, because if just the bill like to change the artificial sugar, to put the sugar cane from Coca-Cola, if it's going to be into the Congress, it will be 50 to 100 pages long. But this bill, when it was taken to the Congress, the original legislation was just 1.5 pages. That shows how this bill was not serious. The bill to end the pension plan in America, to introduce the 401k, that bill is called the Revenue Act of 1978. So when this bill, if you see it is just a few, just not the big bill, just that one, it is over. When it was introduced, it passed, then it started. So the number one problem of that bill, what is that? Was the fees. So this one is the Department of Labor website, dol.gov. The government is warning you about the fees. What does the government say about fees? The government says as follows. You have to look at the fees. That this booklet answers some of the key questions about the fees and expenses of your 401k. What you believe is to be is 401k, for majority believe that one, they say you have to look about these fees. Why? Because by understanding that one, you're going to make the informed decision. You must consider these fees as one of the main several factors to determine your investment, to determine your decisions. So here is the government says why you should consider these fees. Let's read it together. The government says, in a 401k plan, your account balance will determine your retirement income, which you are going to receive from that particular plan, which we know that. While the contribution to your account and the earnings of that investment is going to increase your retirement income. But you have to be careful that the fees and expenses paid by your plan may substantially reduce the growth of your account. If it's going to reduce the growth, that means it's going to reduce your retirement income. And they say, this is the example. Look at this example. What is the example? The example says, if you are employee, you have 35 years to go to your retirement. And in your 401k, you have 25,000. Assume that you are that in the next 35 years, you are averaging about 7%. But the fees and expenses, they are going to reduce your retirement by 0.5%. Your balance will grow up to 227,000 at the time of retirement. But it says, if the fees and expenses paid, if they're just 1.5%, your retirement income, instead of growing to 227,000, it will grow to only 163,000. The 1% difference in fees have reduced your balance retirement by 28%. So you see, there are some what we call the management fees. So while as immigrant, you think that this is something at the end of the tunnel I'm going to have, but remember, you have to pay fees. In the example over there, they just give the example of 1.5%. But the reality, the fees is about 2% to 2.75%. That is the fees. So that is the number one. When you think that, oh, as immigrant, this is the retirement account. Number one, it will be reduced by fees. We call management fees, about 2% to 2.75%. Where does this money go to be put to grow? This money is going to be invested into stock market. The stock market will make it go up or go down. That is another problem. So if it goes up, you get the money. If it goes down, you lose the money. So there is no guarantee you are going to have the money you are projecting to have at the end of the tunnel. Why? Because you can say, oh, if I get high profit, I can reduce the amount, I can take my money out. No. Yes, it is your money, but you are not allowed to take the money out until you are 59 and a half years old. So if you are 30 now, you have to wait for 29 years and a half to be allowed to take the money. If you take the money before, they punish you. You pay the fine. It's your money, but they control the money. So while you think this is a retirement account, remember, you pay fees, which will reduce your retirement. Whether you get profit or loss, you still pay the management fee. Secondly, the money there is going to be put into the stock market. It can go up and down, which you can lose. But the third and last part is you cannot have control of that type of money. And let's say you die before that time, whatever you die, that money is going to be held by the government under the so-called, you will see what is the probate court system. So while you as middle income, you focus more into the 401k, as this is going to be your retirement account, people in family B are not waiting for the employer. They are not employed, they business owners. So if they are business owners, what do? They do three important things. They put the money into the index, they put the money into the account which they are going to get compounding, they put in the money into the account which we call 7702. What does that mean? It means as follows. Let me start with the so-called index. So there are three major ways on how you can grow your money. I'll go very, very fast. There is fixed, there is variables, and there are index. So fixed is the way you put the money in the bank, for instance. You get a tiny, small percent of interest. That's why it doesn't even grow. But if you put the money into the variable, which is the market determining, which is the stock market, you can go up, you can go down, you can go up, you can go down. What does that mean? Let's take the example. You did a betting. The World Cup is going to be played in America. Let's say Brazil is playing with maybe Australia, or Brazil playing with Argentina. You are going to bet that I have this $100. I'm betting Brazil is going to win against Argentina. If Brazil wins, you are going to get $200. But if Brazil loses, you are losing even your $100 which you had before. That is the variable. The index is combining the two. In what sense? I'm betting Brazil is going to win against Argentina. I put $100. If I win, it means Brazil is going, you're going to get $200. But if you lose, that means Brazil lost. You are not losing your money. You will keep your $100 bet. You still have your money. So you are not losing your original. So it means when you go up like a variable. But when the variable is going to drop down, your account is locked. Just like automatic generator. When you see the bigger companies in Africa, the electricity goes off, there is automatic generator switch on. Or in another way, just assume the person is drunk so much, took a lot of beers, maybe 10 beers, whatever. Here, you go 5 steps up, you go 2 back. You went 20, you go back 15. You go 2, you go back down 3. So it's just you go back and forth, back and forth. In the end, the distance covered is going to be small. But here this is a drunkard person, goes 5 steps. When he feels like, oh, I cannot be able to, I'm about to come back, I'm sitting down. When I get energy, I go 5 steps forward. And instead of coming back, I'm sitting down. So that means you protect what you have gained. So that is what the index is. So if that is the case, the people in family B, wealthy people, they use the index. But for us as middle income, we do not know even what is index. So while you come here in America, focus into learning about how the money works. instead of focusing more about Thanksgiving, Halloween, about Easter Bunny, and all those crazy stuff. Yes, it is good to know about those type of cultural items, but also learning about the economy. You didn't come to America just to have Halloween costume. You came here for economic reason. So your priority should be self-learning about economy, self-learning about money, self-learning about finance in general. So they put the money into the index. But another thing, what they do, they put the money into the account, which gives them the compounding. So let's take just one example in order to understand well about the compounding aspect. Let's take the example. The example about, let's say you want to buy a house. You are here, you make good money. Let's say you make $10,000 per month. That's a very good money. It will give you more than 100,000 per year. So how much are you going to pay? Let's see, when you buy a house. When you buy a house, let's say you buy a $500,000 home. And you have started paying maybe on January 1st, 2025. But you're going to pay this one mortgage for 30 years. And then they say, oh, we are going to give you just 7%. When you go to the bank will not tell you what will happen into what do they mean by this interest of 7. Bank will never tell you that. Bank will never tell you what will happen in those 30 years. Bank will tell you, oh, your income is $10,000, $12,000 per month. Oh, you are able to afford this home is just it's just 3,300. So if you pay 3,300, you remain with 6,000 or 7,000 per month. Oh, this is a good deal. When you accept this term, guess what is going to happen in the next 30 years? In the next 30 years, you are going to pay $1,197,000 US. This is, if you put equivalent, is $1.2 million. So just go back and think. You borrowed $500,000 and they tell you in upfront, oh, you're going to pay us 1.2 million. You will say no. But because you didn't know, they're not telling you that, because that is what they call compounding interest. So what is a compounding interest? Let's go to the simple definition of the word compound. A compound word is when you have two words, bring them together, you make a compound word. Blackboard, blackboard, breakfast, breakfast. That is a compound word. A compound element in chemistry is H2O. You take two elements, you make something else. But Albert Einstein came with the proper definition. Proper definition of compound interest. What is the proper definition of compound interest according to Albert Einstein? He said, if there are 7 wonders of the world, number 8 should be compound interest. And he went further. Any person who knows and applies that compound interest is going to be rewarded, is going to benefit positively. And the one who doesn't, guess what? Is going to be punished. The actual definition is there are compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it ends it, and who doesn't is ending up by paying it. So if you don't apply into your own advantage, you're going to pay it. You're going to be punished. How do you get punished in America? For failure to not knowing compound interest. We saw the example of the mortgage. The same formula of compound interest is applied in mortgage, is applied into the credit card, is applied also into you get auto loan, the loan for the car, student loan, you get a consultation loan. All these loans are going to be given by the financial institutions. They are going to put compound interest on you. So what is the solution? So the people who are in family B, the wealthy people in America, instead of being taken advantage of, for them to be the victim, they are going, because they understand what is compound interest, they are finding different portfolios, where if I put my money into those accounts, I'm also going to benefit. I'm going to get the compound interest from those companies. So instead of being the victim of the compound interest, just for you understand and find a way on how you can also get a compound interest, you can go and benefit yourself. Don't be the person who is paying, be the person who is going to benefit from it. So if you don't want to understand the compound interest, you will think that you have American dream because you get paid $10,000, $15,000 per month, but you get a lot of tax. You wait for 1K. The people on the other side, they put the money where when they sleep, the money is still growing under the compounding interest. They get that one. Index, they combine with the compounding interest. But we saw another thing, like the people in family, the West America, they add another component, the 7702 account on top of that. So what is that account? That account is a tax-free account. Is the IRS code that says it is a tax code that allows certain life insurance plans to qualify for favorable tax treatment. Policies that qualify under that particular code enable premium paid into those particular policies to build the cash and to be tax-free. Do you have any account? Write it down. Do you have any account which is tax-free? So if there are accounts which are tax-free, do you think the education system in America will go to advertise it to middle income, 95% of people in America, telling them, oh, come now, we have this account which is tax-free? They'll never do that. That's the number one reason as to why, even if you have bachelor, master's, PhD in finance, you are going to be told how you can go and work in the corporate America, how you can help Chelsea, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, and all other big companies to make money. So your finance will be bookkeeping, finance about making budgeting, and all other, how you can help the corporate to make more money, but not how you yourself, you as employee, you can have advantage of tax-free account. You can have index account. You can have compound. Those are not taught, especially the tax-free. The government will never do that. It will be killing themselves. Just assume the simple thing about credit score. We know how important it is. Good job, you have to have a good credit score. Good neighborhood, you have to have a good credit score. Getting a home, getting a nice car, so many things, you must have a very good credit score. But why is it not taught in school? Because if you teach how to have a very good credit score from kindergarten to, let's say, high school to college, it means people will be having a very good credit score. But what if people have good credit score? They have small interest. So these big companies, they don't want you to have a very good credit score, because if you have a very good credit score, they don't get good money because they have to give you small interest rate. So they are waiting for majority of people in America, middle income, not to know even just a simple thing about credit score. So they do the lobbying into the state education. Don't teach these kind of things. But that is very important than teaching about Mount Rushmore or something else. So that is the problem. So it is a responsibility as a person who is new here, because you're already late. You come here, you are 25 years old. You come here, you are 30 years old. You come here 30 years old, 35, 40 years old. Remember, you are already 40 years, like, with no clue about the life in another country. So you need to learn so fast. Otherwise, you'll be toasted. You'll be completely destroyed at the end of the tunnel. So, understanding the issue about family A and family B, what do you need to do now? So what you need to do, there are the following things. This is the solution. The solution you need to do is as follows. You have to break the script. You have to break the norms. If you continue to keep the same script, if you continue to follow the same, you are in America, but you leave your mindset in Africa, you leave your mindset is still in Asia, you will stay stuck into the system, and that's over for you. Let's watch this 1 minute clip. What does that mean? If you don't break the script, you will be trapped, and that will be the end of your life. Let's see. And when we are going to look on that aspect, we are going also to find more solution. What should we do in order for us to be able to succeed? What are we going to do?
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. Because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script or stay stuck in it. Now listen, you want to join and think like the elite? You want to be part of the 1% that rules and dominate this world? Then come and join. See you on the other side.
So, that clip, very short, but one among the most powerful script. What do they mean? Number one, we saw the middle income go and get a job. That is number one trap. And as immigrant, you used to work or you used to have business, you come here, you get into the bigger trap of having even more hours. So not just 40 hours per week, you have 60 hours, you have 8 hours per week. The government takes more money when you make more money as employee. Break the script, start a business, reduce the taxes. So number one solution of breaking the script is making sure you start your own business. That's number one solution. And another important thing the person is mentioning is the freedom, which is the financial freedom. Freedom is not going to be handed over to you. You have to build it. What do they mean by you have to build it? Meaning you have to start learning. You have to start taking action. How many times have you read a novel? Do you take the time to listen to different podcasts of finance? Have you ever bought a book about finance, learning about American system, Canadian system, the country where you are? If you don't do that, you're not going to be financially free. And it's adding the last part. The ownership is the only way to break the script. Ownership. When you are an employee, you are not the owner of anything. You are an employee, you are not the owner. You have to break the script. So becoming the owner is to become the business owner. That's ownership. But in addition to that, we saw that the people in wealth, they have account which is index, compounding, 7702, and in addition to that, they have permanent life insurance. Meaning, you should also copy and paste what they are doing. What do they do? Number one, they open the business. But number two, they have opened an account. Account which has the following features. The account which is index, account which is 7702, which is tax-free, account which gives them compounding interest, double the profit, account which is flexible for them, meaning they can take their money at any time without being punished, just like in 401k, we saw they get punished. and the account which is property free, meaning when you die, they are not going to take hostage your account, your portfolios. That type of account, you cannot get it through bank. But for us, we come from KCB Bank, Kenya Commercial Bank, CRDB from Tanzania, whatever bank you are. You come in America, you use Bank of America, US Banking, Chase Bank, PNC. You feel that, oh, I'm the king now. No. Those accounts are not going to protect you. Those accounts are not going to give the compounding index. They're not going to make the money when you are asleep. You work 2 jobs. Why are you putting the money under your pillow? Because putting the money in the bank is putting money under your pillow. So the only account which has all those features is one account. That account is Index Universal Life. Why that account is very, very powerful? Because that is what Family B all about. So the question is, you can answer the question, do you want to be Family A? Do you want to be Family B? I see Mboka says that's a very good information. Jacob says that is a very nice one. Agree with me. So, do you want to be Family A, middle income? Do you want to be Family B, is someone who is wealthy, who is financially free? What is your answer? While you are thinking about that answer, have the image of a gazelle in Serengeti and the image of lion in Serengeti. That is the choice you need to do. Do you want to be a Family A? And in this context, Family A is a gazelle in Serengeti National Park. Or you want to be Family B, which is a king of the jungle. So being Family A, it means you depend on 401k. And that 401k can go up and down, meaning you cannot sleep well. But if you're in Family B, you have index. You can sleep well. You are a lion. Nobody can come and attack you. You are a lion. You are king of the jungle. By being Family B, by being a king of the jungle, by being a lion, you can hunt any animal you want. That is Family B. Meaning, by hunting any you want, meaning your account can double. That is the meaning of the compounding. You can go and get whatever you want. And again, you can sleep, a lion can sleep freely because it's a tax-free. So, you need to become a lion. That means you need to become the king of the financial jungle by having the account, index account, 7702 account tax-free, compounding, flexibility, probate, and all those are going to be summarized by one account, which is Index Universal Life. So, let me give you an example. When you put the money in the bank, where do the bank put that money? Where do they get something to do with that your money? So this is an example. Let's go and see when you put the money into the banks. Or even when Coca-Cola gets the money, where do they put the money? So this is the public information, the locations of all US banks. Where do they put their money? The website is called usbanklocations.com. If you look that way, it gives you where their assets they put into IUL, Index Universal Life. Bank of America, for instance, over $25 billion up to June 2025 have been invested into life insurance. JP Morgan Chase Bank, 12.7 billion. PNC Bank, 11.4 billion. US Bank, 7.8 billion. Twist Bank, 7.8, and so forth and so forth. So what do? The banks, you give the money, they are going to give the loans, give the mortgage, give the auto loan, the auto loan, credit card, all those. That's number one of making money. But number two, they're going to invest. They're going to invest into the IUL. Why are they going to invest into the IUL? So all these companies, they are going to invest, banks themselves and all these companies, they are going to put into IUL, because when they put in IUL, their money is a guarantee they're not going to lose. Remember, banks know money than anybody else on this planet. So they put the money into the account which they're not going to lose, which is the index. They don't want to pay the tax, obvious. They want to get the double the profit. So why can't you copy and paste what the banks, your bank is doing, what Coca-Cola, ESPN, Disney, what they are doing, copy and paste. So that is what you need to do. If you do those, your life is changing. So being in America is not about taking the photos of social media. It's not about paying the bills. Majority of us are comfortable in America. Myself, I had that mistake, because you are comparing your success to all you back in Africa. You are in America, but the way you compare your life, you compare not with Mr. Smith of North Dakota, or if you live in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, you are not comparing the cost of living and lifestyle of Ohio. You are comparing your life back in Nairobi, Kenya, back in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, back in Kampala, Uganda, back in Accra, Ghana, back in Nigeria. Don't compare your life as back in Africa. Yes, you can compare just overall how you grow, but don't compare the cost of living like, oh, now I have this car is enough. No, compare, I want to retire. How much, what is the standard of living of this particular state where I am in the next 30 years? If I have to retire today, what if I have to have surgery today? What happens? You have to compare your life from where you are. Why is it important to compare your life from where you are? Like now you're in America, compare life in America. Assume the World Cup, United States is playing Portugal in the World Cup. Remember, World Cup is football, which in America they say soccer, but it's a real football. We are using feet. But United States team, assume is going to play the World Cup, and all the players, they started playing like American football by using their hands. Guess what is happening? They will get red card, penalty, and the game is going to be over. Why they are going to lose is because they are playing different rules in a different game. You are in America, play the game according to the rules and the regulation of the United States. Don't play the game using the rules of money of Ghana in the United States. Don't use the rule of money of Tanzania, rules of money of Kenya into the United States. Here it is a completely different ball game. Rules of the games are different. You are a new country, there are new rules of money. You have to play according to the rules, not according to how your retirement system works in Uganda, in South Africa, in the Philippines. You think that the same rules will play in the United States. You are going to retire, you think that your 401k is everything you have, you'll find out half of it is gone because of the financial crash. So that is a big part of you to understand. What does that mean? Then
The system.
So those are some of the important things we said you have to do. But I want to highlight some few important things that while you are focusing into moving yourself from middle income to better life, I'm going to share with you, for all who are watching this webinar or people come to watch later, you'll put your name, your email, and your phone number. I'll go ahead and I will send you this book. This is one of my books. I've written so many books at the moment. One of those books is this one. It's called The Hidden Habits in America That Keep Middle Class Stuck in the Rat Race. This book is your roadmap to move from family A into family B. Inside this book, you are going to discover the following things. Number one, why, even if you are making 6 figures as income in the United States, that alone will not help you, will not make you financially free. You have to break the script, but the script is not going to be broken by just waiting to have income of 100,000 through job and not finding a way on how you can go and put into a portfolio which will help you. This book, again, you're going to discover the following things. The second aspect is how the business ownership. Remember, I said start your business. So how the business ownership is going to unlock tax advantages. Most employees never see those advantages. The third part, how the index accounts protect the principal and still capture the growth. You are not going to lose the money. And again, I talked about the 7702, the secret of the IRS code 7702, and how the wealth use that one not to pay tax as a tax-free. And lastly, we talked about the compound interest. This book is going to help you to understand in detail how you can flip the compound interest from being your enemy, from being you a victim, to becoming your most powerful wealth building ally, to become your friend. So if you haven't filled out the form, fill it out the form, and then I'll be able to send this book for you. You can be able to see that one. If you want, I can give the bonus of the 401k for those who want to understand more about that one. But those are some of the things which are very, very crucial for you to be able to understand, for you to be able to see them. So, any question up to that moment, and you want to move from being family A to family B, there are so many things you have to make sure that you are going to learn. You are going to make sure that you are going to develop yourself. Without those kind of things, you'll be surprised, America, and you'll be going to the demonstrating every single day. Oh, there is systemic racism here in America. You know, black people cannot succeed. It's you cannot succeed because you chose to become the victim. Because you haven't decided to break the system. To break the system, this system doesn't care whether you are Arab, you are white, you are Chinese, doesn't care. It's capitalism. You don't want to pay tax? Simple. Start the business. You don't want to do this? Do this. Clear is there. So don't hate the player. They follow the rules. If you want to go to the other side, you need to make sure that you are going to understand these kind of things. Okay, someone says, where can I get the form? So the form where I'm going to send you, I think you have just the simple way. Let me give the form on the screen here. There are 2 things I'm going to share with you. Let me, number one second. Let me, if you go to this, you go to my website and you go to, if you fill out that form, first of all, if you fill the form for the webinar, you are obviously I'll have your number, unless others you didn't put the number. If you put the number, you put the email, I will send it to you direct because you have attended this one. But also, if you want to have the free consultation, here I just talk about general, but we are going to specifics now, one-on-one. If you want to one-on-one, there are people who have been invited by their friends. If someone invited you and in the form, the person, if he's a licensed financial professional, invited you, just follow up with that particular person. That person will be able to now put your actual age into the system to give different type of portfolios on how you can open and how you can excel in that particular way. But for someone who wants to have consultation with me now, if you want to have a consultation with me, just go to ebmscholars.com immigrant.com/finance. If you fill out that form, I'll be able to do what? I'll be able to come back to you. I'll call you by tomorrow, the day after. We can schedule the meeting. But or if you can go and do whatever, this one you can go take a screenshot or the barcode, QR code, scan the QR code over there. You'll also be in a position to fill out the form, and that way. Then there are some people here also, apart from being like they want to know. I want also to know more about being financial professional. So this one you can use as a job. For me, I use this as a business. So you can try, you say, oh, I want to learn more to become a financial professional. So there are few ways you can do that. If you fill out that form on the consultation, I'll be able to guide you the process of you knowing a lot of finance stuff, but also for you to be as a business. But also I created like if you go to the Indeed, but also I created it here, but let's give the example. If you go to the Indeed, for instance, I posted this is my job, like it's also on Indeed, about becoming financial professional. So there are different ways you can be able to do that. Okay, so for instance, if we go here, you see it will come IBM Scholars. It will explain what are the job description and everything. But remember, you can be able, the number one advantage is for you to know more about finance. It will help you yourself to know more by yourself. And that is the more description about the job opportunity, whatever, becoming less a financial professional, what you do, and so forth. So if you go to my website and be able to, but if you want the job side, the job, it will be IBM Scholars. It will be a little bit different site. I can just plug the site for that particular. If you want to become financial professional, it will be a little bit different. You go to this website, which is called IBM Scholars, immigrants.com/financial professional. If you go on that one, you'll be able to see the job. Or you can go to my website. That one is IBM Scholars. You click when they say financial education, it is for consultation. Financial professional job, that means you want that particular job, like for you to be able to do that. So this is the consultation form. If you haven't filled it out, it will ask a series of questions. We can have a meeting one-on-one with me. But if a person invited you and the person is less than financial, if you fill this one, I'll contact that person and you can be able to do together in that particular way. And for the job wise is the becoming the financial professional yourself. This is the form you can be able to go ahead and fill out. And then we can be able to explain what you do, what are the procedures, what are their benefits, how do you get paid, how do you make money, all those kind of things. You'll be able to do that way. But at the moment, for consultation, it will be that way. Let me answer some of the questions people might have. So the forms, I've answered the form. I need that one, but I'm also, let me do another thing. For the free consultation, I'm going to put the form on the chat here. You can be able to click that one and be able to fill that one. So I put it on over there. That is for free consultation. But also for the job, you can, if you want to fill both of them, it's okay. For you become licensed financial professional. You want to know more about the financial professional, yourself will be able to guide you. The link is over there. You can click it. Okay, so there is a question from Adrian, says, what companies can you suggest to get an IUL, and is the 401k mandatory contribution, or you can quit whatever? So I'm not going into too much detail, but I will give just overall like this way. Basically, 401k, you contribute a certain amount and employers contributing certain is matching. Most of employers, whether you contribute or don't contribute, they have to match up to 6. They have to give 6%. Most of the companies, some you must contribute. So it's up to you whether you want to put a 6% in the employer, put a 6%. Some people, I'm not saying you have to do, I'm just saying in general. Some people, they say, oh, instead for me to put my money in 401k, I can put maybe 1%. Employer will put their money there. My 5% of my salary, I'm going to put into another portfolio, which I want, or I see will be a better way that way. And there are so many companies, I'm not going to mention all their companies, I'm not advertising for them, but there are so many companies which provide IUL, but they also provided the term, also kind of that. Majority of people, they mentioned that they do not know about even what is insurance, life insurance, because most of us, we think that life insurance is when you die. So by thinking that way, that is a mistake. Why is the mistake? It's a mistake because there are different types. One of the types, let me just, I can highlight just, I'm not going into detail, but let me just give just a quick highlight. So there are 4 types: group life and term, whole life, index universal. So group life and term, these are the temporary one. Middle income are the one having this one. Rich people have either whole life or index this one. The first one, the second one, the third one, all these 3, you cannot benefit while you are still alive. You must die. The third one is the one which you can benefit while you are still alive. So that is the true definition of life insurance, because that index universal life is the one which you can benefit. Let's say when you are sick, instead of waiting until you die, you can take the money. You see people are going to the nursing home. Do you think all of them are rich? Some of them, they have the money. They take their death benefit while they are still under what you call the chronic illness or critical illness. This one is what the people are using is a personal bank. Rich people are using this one. They put the money there. When it grows, they can be able to withdraw the money. They can take the loan. They can take the money when they have critical illness, chronic illness, terminal illness. They can be able to benefit. They can use as a retirement account. When they are 65 or 70, whatever, they stop paying, they start getting paid on a monthly basis until they die. So there are so many things people do not know. They think that, oh, if you have life insurance, is that, oh, this is whatever. No. IUL is a different ball game. So that is something I can answer that way. Any other question? So if you want the one-on-one free consultation, just go fill out that form, ebmschools.com/finance, and I'll have the one-on-one meeting with you. And if you, in case you are looking like you want to become a financial professional, for your benefit to learn more, to get a license and to learn the business side of it, because I said you have to start a business, remember? When I say you need to start a business, not everybody will be having to start a business of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. You don't have, not everybody has that amount of money. So you can start a business of educating others. But when you educate others, you can get paid by commission. We'll be able to guide you on how you can be able to start the business, grow through the business in that particular way. Yeah. So for instance, we have even books, materials. For instance, the book which says From Rookie to Rainmaker, How to Become an Elite Agent. That book is already on Amazon. I've already published that one. The other one is Stop Selling, will be out by the end of the month. So there might, I mean, but if you are part of the team, we'll give some of those materials, some of the templates for you to be able to start and be able to succeed. Any other question before we finish? Any person who wants to have a question to come up front. If a person wants to join live here to ask a specific question, I can just invite you. But if you can't, there is no problem. Let me. I know there are. So, but if you want to join here, to appear here on the screen for a few minutes to ask a specific question or to add a certain point, I put the link on the chat here, which is you can just, I will give like 5 minutes. If you join here, you can ask your question live here. Let me know. If there are no questions, that means this will be the end of our webinar, the end of our class. And for those who speak Swahili, tomorrow on Sunday, December 7, we'll have the Swahili version of this one. So you can invite other people, you know, they speak Swahili and maybe they didn't have the chance to attend. There will be a Swahili version. Yeah. Up to this moment, no one is joining. So someone says, thank you so much. Asante sana, Mboka. Mboka is in Ohio. I'm glad you had the opportunity to join today and learn something. But remember, to break the code is for you to take action. Majority of us, just first of all, to take the time to be here for an hour, that is huge. You could be there and watch some YouTube videos or just, oh, you're in Virginia. Okay. Okay. That's good. I do say thank you for the information. So it's to take action. I know the action number one you have taken is to spend an hour being here. I appreciate more. But the second action is for you now. Take the opportunity, because here we cannot talk. There are certain things we cannot talk. We cannot go into different companies to go into their system, because I'm a licensed financial professional. I have the access to all those companies. I cannot pull out into the database and show you. No. While you are one-on-one, we'll be showing you, if you put your age, these are some different of account. If you open them, you'll be able to do that. Yeah. So, yeah, no other questions. So I appreciate each and everyone. So while you are ending this year, you have to find a way. Maybe someone, you have children. In the end, what is their future? Being born in America doesn't mean that you have a better chance of surviving in America. You can be born in America, but your life will be miserable than being born in Africa. So how do you prepare your child down the road? Whether it's going to school, whether it's going to have a business, all those kind of things. If you know how to do braiding hairs, do you do as a business or do you for fun? You find a way. What happens if, let's say, you seek like this particular level? So those are some important things, like very, very crucial for all of us to be able to do that. Yeah. So I know some people might be wondering, oh, you used to be more immigration. Why are you talking about the finance? Immigration is for you to come to America or to go to Canada, whatever. But how do you succeed there? It's part of immigration, part of it. That's why, apart from having the IBM Scholars as a company, which you all know, but I have another company which is called Beyond American Dream, LLC, which the focus is empowering families and building financial futures. This is the company. So this one is the 100% financial education company. What we offer, we do a lot of things. So just go ahead, fill out the form to get the free consultation. But if you want to learn about the business side, if you go to the careers on that particular aspect, you want to apply, it will take you to apply, so and so forth. Okay, so let's end up the webinar right now. Thank you, each and everyone. May God keep blessing you, and make sure that you go and fill out the form which will help you to start the next life in America. Remember, if you wrote your what? If you wrote your email and your phone number, I'll reach out to you and give you the free book, the book which is the book which is talking about how you can move from middle income to become financial well off. Not even if you are not going to be very, very rich, but how you are going to succeed in that particular level. Because many people, trust me, we have been here for so many years, but we come to regret in the end of the day. So take the opportunity. If someone say, I'm give you 1 hour, 2 hours free, just go and learn. There is no obligation to buy, to do anything. The key is financial education. Without the financial education, you are not going to succeed in any way. Let me end you with one important short video here, which will be able to remind you and it will be able to help us to end what we have done for the rest of the day. I know you might be surprised today why I have a QR code here. If you click that, it will take you to my webpage, which is ebmscholars.com/. One second, I'm going to play one video. That form, you must be in the United States or Canada to fill out this form. When you fill out this form, you are going to get 2 hours free of charge consultation with me. Coming to the United States, going to Canada is one thing. To succeed is a different ball game. So go and scan this QR code or go to the particular website, ebmscholars.com/finance. You will get 2 hours free consultation with me. As again, I said, you must be in the US or in Canada. You can come here, but there are so many things you need to know in order to succeed. There are so many mistakes people are doing. I've talked to thousands and thousands of people. You might be surprised. Someone has been here for 20 years, has been here for 20 years, has been here for 30 years, 40 years, but there are so many things still they do not know them. Those kind of things are going to help them between making money, growing your money, between finding a way to reduce the taxes you are paying, finding a way on how I can retire early, finding a way on how I can help my child to have a better life in these countries. We just think if I have a child in America, I have a child in Canada, automatically I'm helping that child to lose or to succeed easily. I've reduced maybe the burden, maybe the one they had in where I'm from or my life I had. But if you don't prepare your child better situations, the child might have even the worst life compared to what you are having. So being born here or living in this country is not automatically for you to succeed. You need to have the opportunity to learn more, because you might be surprised. There are some people, they make a normal job, but in the end, because they prepared well on their taxes, on their retirement plans, they are going to have a better situation in the end. So I advise you to go ahead and go and fill out that particular form. I know you have a question. How comes Ernest EBM now is talking about the issue about finances? Yes, I have another company apart from the EBM Scholars, a company called Beyond American Dream LLC. This company is focusing mainly on people who are in the US or in Canada to learn more about how they can succeed in these countries. And we are talking more about the finances. Yes, I have a license in financial profession. I've written so many books at the moment about finances. Among the books I've talked about is this book, for instance, The Hidden Habits in America That Keep Middle Classes Stuck in the Rat Race. I have another book talking about the trap of 401k. I have so many books about the finances. So go there and schedule the free consultation. 2 hours free of charge consultation. Fill out the form at ebmscholars.com/finance, where I will be able to reach back to you and have one-on-one meeting. You can learn a lot. So share this link to your friend or any person you know who is in the US or is in Canada. Regardless how many years you've been in these countries, trust me, myself, there are so many things I came to learn down the road, not because at the beginning, or because I've been here for 17, 18 years, I do not know everything. But with at the time, I collected so many information, so many knowledge, read a lot of books, and have some licenses to advise you. So even though we are telling you, oh, come to America, come to Canada, but then what after being in these countries? We want to. Okay, so thank you so much, each and everyone. So until next time, goodbye, everyone. We are ending the stream at the moment. I appreciate taking your time. If you send the same link to another person, we'll be able to watch it on record or watch on demand. So I'm not going to delete it. So if you log in anytime, you want to take some notes, you can do that. If you want to share that link to another person, even if the session is over, the video will be there as watch in demand. So share to some other any other person you think this one will be beneficial information, they'll be able to do that. Until next time, goodbye and have a wonderful rest of the year, ending the year, but started 2026 with a bang. Be very focused. Don't lose track of what you are here for to be able to succeed. Thank you and bye-bye, everyone.